Good afternoon everybody, it's Peter here. I must apologise, when I look through at the videos I do an awful lot of licking of my lips. So I'm really sorry, but it's something I must do when I'm sort of thinking what I'm going to say next, so you'll have to bear with me. Yesterday afternoon I had a text from a friend. Well, I saw when I went out yesterday morning, I saw the WI president going off to the village shop to do her voluntary shift, and she said, "Oh, I've just made some cookies for you. I've made some cookies. They're ones you can eat, peanut cookies. It's a WI recipe, really easy. Just made some cookies." She said, "I'll drop some off to you this afternoon. Put them in your letterbox." I said, "Oh, wonderful! Thank you so much." So when I got home I walked around and got the papers yesterday, and when I got back I went to I've got a big square box on the back wall by my entrance door, because I haven't got a letterbox as such. So she dropped them, lifted up the lid, and it can take parcels, you see, and she dropped the peanut butter cookies in there. So I got 6 lovely peanut butter cookies. Oh, smashing. So as soon as I got in, I texted her, and then as soon as I'd done that, I got a text from the girl in the flat to say she'd pickled some beetroot and she'd put a jar on my top of my car, and she reckons you have to leave it for a couple of weeks. So I went back out and I got this jar of beetroot, so I put that in the fridge. So I'll see what that tastes like in a couple of weeks. That's interesting. So I got some peanut butter cookies and some beetroot yesterday. Really good. I'll say it was, I can't remember what time it was, but it must have been just as it was beginning to get dark, I think, or when the light was dropping. That red sky, I took a couple of pictures, bright red, it was red stripes across the sky, it was beautiful. I took a couple of pictures, but when I looked at them, they weren't as good as seeing it in with your own eye. But gosh, it was a really brilliant red sky last night. It was lovely. I bet it was beautiful over the coast, over the water. I bet it's really lovely down there. So I don't know whether you all saw that. This morning got up, it's a bit well, it was really frosty this morning, so I had a nice dry walk with the dogs. It was nice underfoot, not too hard, and it was really good. But then sort of on the way back I thought, what's that? And it started to rain. So the frost has gone. I don't know whether it was rain or whether it was going to be sleet, but it doesn't seem to. It's not happening now, unless might be a bit of a drizzle out there. I don't know, I can't see. Well, let's just hope it doesn't freeze again. Hope it doesn't freeze tonight on this wet ground. So that's that. I'm hopefully going up and collecting my shopping today, if the weather's okay, to Rachel's, and I should be seeing Francesca today. So she'll be there with Mummy this week, so that'll be good. I'll be able to see her, see what she's doing, a chat with her. I just see her once a fortnight. Just have dinner with them. So try to cram in everything. I had a message from Emma this morning to say she was sending me a video of something she'd done with her stage school. They're doing Zoom things on a Saturday, and she had they'd set them a monologue, which they put up on the screen. They had to print it off, and they'd got to, if they wanted to, they got to learn it this week and recite it. So she was telling me yesterday all about. She read it through, and I thought, okay, it sounded odd. And then she texted me this morning. Said, "Nanny, I've done the monologue. I'll send you the video." Well, it was lovely. She did it really, really well. I was quite moved actually the way she did it, and and I did it. I ran it through a couple of times because I just sort of listened to her, and I was just enthralled. And then I listened to it again, and it really, really made me sort of think. It was all about COVID and the lockdown and everything. It was really, really lovely. So she sent that off to her tutors at her state aerial school, her drama school. So I hope I'm sure they'll be impressed with it, because she did it really, really well. I thought it was lovely. She's very good. She remembers. She has a very good memory, whether it's photographic or not, but she remembers. She's very good at that sort of thing, giving her lines and things, and she remembers very well, very well. I just made some soup. I've got a load of oddments in the bottom of the fridge. Half a leek and some of the ends and a bit of parsnip and lots of bits of carrot and lots of bits of onion and lots and lots of ends and bits. So I just chucked it all in, and I put some fresh in, some sweet potato and everything I'd got in the bottom of the fridge. I threw it all in, and even an old bit of beetroot I threw in, and great big nice bowl of thick soup. So I've just decanted it into pots, let it cool off, and then put it in the freezer. So I've got lots of lovely soup. As I say, I'm going to collect my shopping this afternoon. Unfortunately, completely lost with the days. Last night I thought, oh, I need some fruit. I'll send a message to say, could Rachel get me this, that and the other on the shopping list, some fruit, blah, blah, blah. I thought I'll do it in the morning. Of course, I got up this morning and thought, oh, well, I better do something about getting fruit on my shopping list. And I suddenly thought, oh, no, it's too late. Today's the shopping day. I've missed it. Oh, she said to me, Sunday, is there any shopping you want? I said, I don't know, I can't think of anything. And I just never gave it a thought. I've only got 24 hours to think about it. So I'll have to, well, when I go up to Dan, I'll see what she's got in her fruit bowl, see if I can raid a few bits. If not, I'll have to, actually, I'll ask my friend. She's got a shop probably coming at the end of the week. I'll ask her if she can get me anything this week. I had a long conversation with my friend down in Ferring, a U3A friend. I've got an old laptop, really old laptop, and I've lost a couple of the buttons, but it's handy because it's got a lot of my pictures on it. And many years ago, I used to have a camera that I could plug in, point in, and put it into my computer, and my pictures would just transfer over. But then Kodak stopped doing that app or whatever it was, and I couldn't do it anymore. And so I used to have to transfer pictures manually. And then not long after that, the camera lens jammed, and I took it into camera shop, and they said, oh yeah, we'll be able to send that away, blah, 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 I'll send you an estimate. And I thought, oh, this is going to be not worth it. So, and I thought, well, but if I can't do the getting them onto the computer as they were before, so I thought, oh, I've got another old camera, I'll use that, my old Olympus. So I started using my old Olympus. Well, of course, that was before you could look on the screen, and you'd take 24 pictures, and you'd have to wait a couple of months before you saw them, and if 20 of them were rotten, I thought, I don't want to go back down that road. I like to look at them now. So that's when the family got me a phone with a camera on. So I'd got it all there. But of course, this whole laptop, I've still got all these pictures on. So the only way I can get them off is to put them onto the hard drive. Well, I've got an old hard drive, one, like everything I've got, family have updated and sent it on to me. Well, the hard drive is a great big thing, but it's got all my pictures on, and I'm now just worried that if the hard drive goes down, then I've lost thousands of pictures. So I spoke to Judith yesterday, because she and her husband used to do an awful lot of camera work, computer work. I mean, she's got loads and loads of computers there, and photography. They used to run a photography course. I think he was a photo, or I can't remember what it was, but he did they used to do a lot of videoing, going out and doing videos for other groups. So she knows what she's talking about. So I said to her, right, okay, I've got a laptop, I've got an iPad, I've got my phone, I've got a hard drive. Now, if the laptop goes down, I can't see my pictures on the hard drive because you've got to plug something in, and iPads and phones don't have this jack point at all. So I need this laptop to be able to see the pictures. But I said, if I have the pictures taken off the hard drive, what shall I put them on? So she said, well, if it's a really old hard drive, I suggest you update with a new hard drive, a more modern one, you know, a much smaller one. And I said, yeah, fine, okay, but I still need something to look at them. I said, what about putting them onto CDs or something like that? So she said, well, they deteriorate, CDs deteriorate after a while. I said, what about, you know, the plug-in sticks? So she said, well, yeah, that's fine, you can get them onto there, you know, depending on how many gigabytes and all that. But she said, again, you've got to plug it into something. I said, oh, okay. So she said, let me give it some thought. So I said, well, I've just plugged the hard drive into the laptop and nothing's working. So I said, so I don't know whether, because I haven't used it for so long. So I said, I've got the laptop on plugged in, so it's on charge, it's not run out. And I said, so she said, well, look, put the hard drive on. And she said, give it time to warm up, because if it hasn't been on for a long while, it might need a bit of time to reboot. So I said, okay. So I said, well, while I'm talking to you, I'll put it on. So I put it on and left it. She said, is there a light on it? I said, I don't know. So eventually, when we were chatting, I got down the floor and had a look. And I said, oh, yes, there is a light. And I said, the light's on. Oh, she said, well, that's good. And then I said, I can feel power in the hard drive because I can feel it vibrating. So she said, well, the hard drive is obviously working then. So she said, perhaps it's not, you know, it doesn't like the computer now. I said, well, when I come off the phone, I'll plug it into the computer and see what happens, which I did. And it rebooted itself and came up on the computer, and I managed to be able to see the pictures. So at least I know that that's all working, but, you know, I still haven't got what I'm going to do about, you know, the computer, the laptop. At least I can go to her and say, well, because I said, you know, if the hard drive's gone down, then I've lost millions of pictures off of there. So she said, well, I will have a look and see whether, you know, I can get the pictures off for you. Well, at least I can tell her now the hard drive is working, so we can take the pictures off, but I've still got to decide what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. So I thought, well, I'd speak to Rachel this afternoon, tonight, and ask her what she thinks I ought to do, you know, whether the hard drive's very old, whether I needed to update that, or what I'm going to do. I mean, you've got all these thousands of pictures, and, you know, if the only way I can look at them, I mean, I was going through some of them, and, you know, we're going back sort of 10, 15 years, and I was looking at the little ones in videos, and oh look, oh, it was lovely. When Francesca was at school, in her little primary school, doing little plays, and oh, that was just lovely. I didn't get much further back than that. I you know, well, another time where I can sit there for hours, can't I, doing that? So I must find out what I can do with that. Because I don't want to lose all those pictures. Oh dear, what else is there? Nothing much, I think. I just had that one phone call. Judith yesterday, I just had a really long one, and then Emma's monologue. My friend that I see up on the green with the dogs was up there today, and we had a chat about one of the girls that we used to meet up there, much younger than us. She moved down to Cornwall with her partner. Oh, it'll be heavy breathing again. Let me have a look. Hello? Amazon. Yes, so we were chatting about this girl that we used to see up on the green, moved down to Cornwall. And my friend was saying she had a call from her last night to say that she's got lung cancer. And they've given her, with treatment, she's having some treatment starting this week, they've given her 18 months. And I mean, we would, oh, be quiet. Hold on. Hello? Would you believe it? This is another call from Amazon. 2 in the space of a couple of seconds. One of them, it said unavailable, and the other one had a telephone number. That's why I answered the second one, because it was a telephone number. Oh, Amazon. Oh, thank you. Yes, so there's Jill, much younger than us, with 18 months. I mean, we just both stood up there and we both were nearly in tears. Well, you know, I had to wipe tears away. I said, life is not fair. Life is just not fair. She's just moved for a new life. And that's what's happened to her. And I mean, she's just not 60. So, I mean, Sharon said, obviously, I'm still in touch with her. She said, but last night I just didn't know what to say to her. I said, oh, so cruel, so cruel. So, it wasn't a very good walk this morning. And well, you've just got to live life now and not think about the future, because you just do not know what the future holds in the next few hours, a few days or anything. Oh dear. So, bit windy now. I did get my washing dry yesterday. I got it dry. When I brought it in, it was just one thing that wasn't quite dry, but everything was more or less dry. So I brought it in, put it around the radiator, well, folded it all up, put it around the radiator and just finished it off. And so it was lovely. It was really did well. So I hope everybody has a really good afternoon. And Wednesday tomorrow. No plans for tomorrow? No, I have nothing planned as usual. And so I might do a little bit of jigsaw in a minute. I'll have my lunch, soup, a little bit of jigsaw perhaps, take the boys out and then go over later to get my shopping. So good afternoon everybody, and have a super time. I'll speak to you tomorrow.